Hello, everybody, my friends. 30 guys, 43 guys waiting in the chat room for us, or the sixth period of the Tampa Bay Columbus game. I'm Lawrence Presman. It's puck time. Buster Sports, Andrew McGinnis, Carmine Bianco joining us. Shout out to all you guys that have been waiting. Southpaw, Raymond, Backdoor, Repulate. Some soccer predictions guy. Who cares about him? Bob Hope. Daniel, John, iHeart Sports. We really appreciate it all. Great start to the real playoffs. Tampa Bay Columbus. Third longest game in history. And a good one at that. Expected to. Dominated by any team but Columbus, and yet they stayed in it. I won my only game yesterday, Vegas Golden Knights in puck in regulation. Let's go to you, Carmine Bianco. I'm seeing you tonight, brother. What's up?
Yeah, boys, get together. You're a great host as always. Things are good, man. 3-1 day overall yesterday. 5%, easy 5% winner in soccer. I love those ones when they literally score 90 seconds into the game and then double up shortly after and just control the game. 4-1 final, 3-1 day, and a 3-pack in hockey today, and a Champions League spot play. So a lot of action. Head over to my page, man. It's going to be another good day, I think.
Always is when you're around, Carmine. Andrew McGinnis, excellent background image, dude. Like, I'm one to talk. I'm sitting in the abyss right now.
What's up, guys? Crazy first game we had. I couldn't believe it. I was actually out playing soccer during that game, and then was able to catch pretty much a whole new game because there were so many overtimes. So that kind of was nice to be able to watch the game. Unfortunately for me, I actually had the first period under in both the Columbus game and the Calgary game, and both games went under in the full game scale, but not the first period. So lost those for 2%. However, I did have Vegas puck line for plus 125, so cashed that in. And
nice.
I was the $2 Tuesday handicapper yesterday at WagerTalk.com, and that's for a play tonight. So if you miss your chance, it's now $40, and you can grab that at the website. Really like the play tonight.
He's Andrew McGinnis. Buster Sports, how did you do, my friend?
Well, as you're aware, Lawrence, I lost my $2 Tuesday play yesterday. I had the Vegas game over, and that didn't work out. My clients, we went 2-2, but unfortunately, when you lose that $2 Tuesday game, yeah, a lot of guys give you a lot of bad comments. But hey, you know what I mean? Do this long enough, you're gonna lose. That's how it goes. You know, most guys bet 1,000 games, you're gonna lose. If you're really good, you're gonna lose about 450 of them. So it's one of those. You know, wasn't really in it. That first period kind of hurt me, and I thought Chicago was going to show more offense. They probably will. We'll get a better number next game, and yeah.
Buster, I posted your home address on Twitter there. So was I not supposed to do that?
Probably not, but you know what? That's all right. You know, it's,
Buster.
Those 5% plays over the last 2 years, I'm hitting 60% in 5% awesome. Plays over 2 years. So I mean, you know, you can't win them all, unfortunately.
Well, Buster, we had a 6.5 on board in that Vegas-Chicago game. By the way, if Joe Ranieri is listening to this show, killer job with my microphone. Man, I sound good, at least to myself.
Yeah, you actually do sound much better.
Yeah, I fixed that all those sounds. I mean, this thing is like there's depth and resonance. I mean, I'm getting a bit turned on by my own voice. Anyway, 6.5 yesterday on that Vegas-Chicago game. And now, Buster, you're right. We do have a better number. There's a 6 up for tomorrow's game. I already know I'm going to bet that over the total. So,
me as well.
What? Yeah. Well. No, that's tomorrow, and I already know I'm betting the over. Matt Carpenter, Toma, Christian, Megan, Richie. Rich, I haven't seen you in ages, dude. How are you, man? Thanks for the nice words about the volume. Also, one of you guys, Southpaw, loved my Netflix recommendation. So for anybody who missed it yesterday, it's called Fear City. It's unbelievable. Like, wow. just wow. It's about New York, the state of New York, and how the city of New York, because it was more Giuliani, but how they broke the mafia in the 1970s. Must watch, guys. Check it out. Let's get straight to it. Listen, Boston is playing now. We're obviously skipping this game. I did sprinkle just a very small amount on the under, so we'll see what happens. If anybody, the game hasn't started yet, so a race to your book. I took the under, 100 miles an hour. Did you bet on this game, Carm?
Yeah, I actually did. I actually took the Bruins, which I said I was going to do yesterday. I took the Bruins first period in this game.
Okay.
I understand that you thought that the Bruins could start slow. I threw out all the placement games. I'm taking a completely different approach to this. I think I hope we see the real Bruins team come out in that.
Andrew, did you bet this game?
I did, yeah. I like the under, but it sounds kind of funny saying this, but if I was anybody watching this video and I don't have a bet already, I would just look to play that live over maybe halfway through the second period, something like that, because that's kind of what I feel. Obviously, if you can still get a bet in, a live bet under, obviously I'm recommending that, but I really feel that for this Boston Bruins team, they're going to be one where you can kind of throw everything out with the seeding games, like Carmine said. However, they're going to need some time to kind of relax and settle into these games. And Carolina's kind of that type of team as well. You look at the Flames win yesterday, Dave Koken cashes 5% winner on them. That was kind of a bet on spot because the Stars, they didn't take their seeding games too seriously. Flames coming off a really exciting series against the Jets. Now it's a matter of if that was kind of a real game or not, or if now the Stars are warmed up. And I think that a lot of people think the Hurricanes are going to just, for some reason, just beat down this Bruins team. I think we got to remember, what this team's all about.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Flames look good. What a brain cramp with that penalty with 49 seconds to go. My God. A lot of drama in hockey, that's for sure. Buster, are you betting this Boston game?
Yeah, actually on the show I gave out Carolina yesterday, and my reasons were that the way Boston swept them last year, if Carolina lets Boston get back into this, like if they do the same thing, Boston beats them this game, they might do the same thing. So I'm looking for Carolina to carry the momentum from their last series, and like I said yesterday, I think this is almost a must-win game for Carolina. I see the line went down to down 10 cents today. It was 120 yesterday, 110 now. So yeah, I'm with Carolina today.
Shout out to Dave Koken. He won his 5% play yesterday. As we discussed already, it was on Calgary. Congratulations. Line of the day so far is Richie Rich. Basically, I said, Richie Rich, we've missed you. Where have you been? And his response, sorry, I have a few oil businesses I run. Okay, then. And now we know why your name is Richie Rich.
Not just one, but a few.
He doesn't brag about the oil businesses that he runs. All 33 of them. Nice to see you, Daniel. Nice to see you, Jen. Elliot V, you did not jinx my baseball play. I lost last night. I was on a 15-1 run. Roller coasters jinxed my play last night. Guys, I mean, what am I going to do? 16-1, 17-1, 18-1? I'm 15-2. Good enough. I'll bounce right back.
Yeah, nothing wrong with 15-2.
Oh, that's crazy. Prez, can we before we get away from this Boston game, can we just, because it's a Boston person, can we just mention how stupid Mike Milbury is?
Go ahead.
Oh my God.
So he wins the Luis Suarez Award?
Yeah, he tweets out that because the NHL game is going too long in overtime, that they should start playing 3-on-3 instead to speed up that overtime game. And then he calls our CN Tower the Space Needle.
Okay. Anything else?
Just another reason to hate these Boston guys, whatever.
Okay, well, I don't hate the Boston guys. I actually think it's one of the most beautiful cities in the world, and I've always enjoyed my time in Boston.
Because you like legal seafoods.
Well, you know what's funny? You know what's funny, Prez? You call it one of the most beautiful cities in the world. They call that the Halifax of America.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. We'll go with that. I've been to Halifax, Andrew. Okay. I have been there. I stood on the one corner that exists in Halifax, and I waved at every single person who lives there just by turning in a circle.
Prez, I just want to say one thing. It's funny, Prez, because I had my background, and now that I have the green screen on first pitch, and it's a nice nighttime skyline picture of Halifax. And this is no joke. Based off all the things that you've said and the jokes and the jabs, everyone's like, no, seriously, like, where is that? And I'm like, no, that's where I live. And everyone's like, I thought like you lived in a small town with like nowhere to go, no build. Like everyone thinks I live in a straight up ghost town because of you.
How many people live in Halifax?
That was actually my city.
How many people?
I don't even know. Population. I'll search it up right now. I think it's like
700 or something.
Do you know Frank?
430,000, dude. There's pimples in Ontario with more people.
2017 though. It's gotten way, way bigger since then.
Okay.
Andrew, do you know Frank?
Do you know Frank? That's hilarious. What about Steve? You know Steve from Halifax? Okay, let's go, boys.
You know what's funny? Somebody actually asked me that on Twitter one time. Do you know a guy named Mark?
Repulate Gaming. He's from Halifax, but when he's probably no lie. He lives in Halifax. Well, congratulations, dude. Listen, it is a beautiful city, and I mean, in all seriousness, Buster is the one that comes from the piece of poo.
Wow.
Not where I live now.
No, but St. Catharines, my God, that's a poor man's version of Hamilton, which is a poor man's version of Niagara, which is a poor man's version of Toronto, and on and on and on. New York Islanders plus 115, Washington Capitals minus 135. A total of 5.5 here, and tale of two tapes, and we're going to see this a lot. I mean, here you got a high-flying offense on Washington with a stifling defense on the New York Islanders. Is one of those series, if Washington wins, it'll likely sneak over. If the Islanders win, we're looking at 2-1 games. I like the Islanders in this series. I'd like the Islanders tonight. I'm not going to make a bet on this game, though. And I can't make heads or tails on the total for this reason that, Washington can put up 6. And the Islanders can keep them at 2. Buster, I'll go to you first. I'm passing. What are you doing?
I'm actually I know I'm probably against all of you because I know Carm is a Islander lover there. But I actually took Washington in the series, and I took Washington in this game tonight. I know the whole Trotz thing is out there. Let's just put it that way. But in saying that, just as much as Trotz and the Islanders will want to beat Washington, Washington, wants to go after Trotz as well because Trotz just 2 weeks after winning the cup, he's gone. So I just think Washington's got more talent. And you know what? I can't get out of my head that last part of the stretch of the season for the Islanders when they just totally fell apart. So I know John Carlson's coming back today. He should be coming back. Does Islanders have the advantage in the coaching? They do. What I think the big and major difference of this series will be in the end is the special teams. And we all know special teams and team play win playoff games in the NHL. And Washington's special teams, I believe, will be the reason why Washington wins this. And I like Washington to win this first game.
Yeah, and Buster, it makes sense. I mean, from a special teams perspective, the New York Islanders aren't rolling out the world's most feared power play. And Washington certainly can. I mean, that's for sure. Put Ovi in his office, Yoshi, and the whole, they could roll out 5. That first unit is just deadly. Carm, as I said, I'm not betting this game. What are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm holding a ticket, obviously, on the Islanders, 40-1 to win the cup. Something that I'm going to need them, obviously, to get by this this series in order to hedge it out. I think they match up well, to be honest with you. And I get what Buster says. They couldn't stop a goal. They allowed 30 goals in 7 games in that stretch to end. But like I said, this the hockey world, the sports world stopped at the right time for the Islanders. They got it back together. They're playing well. And listen, in that Florida series, Florida's a team that can score, and I thought the Islanders matched up well with them. They shut them down. They didn't allow, other than that one game where they lost 3-2, they didn't allow those quick succession goals. They allow one and they just lock it down again. And they were scoring. They 5-1 in that clincher, 4-2 in the other. Never allowed more than 2 goals other than that 3-0 or sorry, that 3-2 loss. I like them to win this series. And you're getting plus money on them. It comes down to I know people usually say, and I think Prez, you've said it, that second game or that third game is the most important. I think the first one is the most important game here. I actually think if Washington wins game 1, they win the series.
Right.
So the Islanders are the type of team that if they win game 1, they just tighten the screws in game 2 and just make it tougher for Washington. So I'm taking the Islanders here today.
Carmine Bianco with us. Andrew McGinnis, we've got one on Washington, one on the Islanders, one sitting directly on the fence. Where are you going in this?
Yeah, I think Carmine and I actually have the exact same NHL bracket filled out. So one of us must have been hanging out around the other person when they were making their picks. But
well, based on the fact that you're 7'12", you were the one standing over the 6'4" Carmine.
Carmine has a good history of selecting games, so I'll take it. But I like the Islanders in the game. To Carmine's point, a few of my friends that have played high-level hockey in the CHL, they always said that the biggest game of a series was actually when you're changing venues. When you're changing arenas, trying to carry over that same play. But now we don't have that, so I would agree with Carmine. The biggest game is game 1 and getting out there on top. And first of all, I just want to take the plus price, before anything. And then you dive into it and we look at which teams have really been more successful. Is it the teams that would win the skills competitions, or is it the teams that play more, as a team and defensive hockey and protect the puck? Because you look at Columbus, you look at the Islanders, you look at Carolina. We saw some nice goals from Carolina, but for the most part, a lot of those, these teams, they're not winning off highlight reel goals, and I'm going to keep saying that throughout the playoffs until it stops working, because, you can have one or two guys on the opposition that score top shelf goals, and when it comes down to it, you want to score those gritty goals that are going to kind of, win you the game and advance you to the next round. And I think that the New York Islanders are capable of doing that. Prez, I'm really disappointed with the price we're getting on the under here, but I understand why it is the way it is. Like I said yesterday, I had 2 of the first period unders. I thought the trend would continue as we saw 2 teams that hadn't played actual playoff games yet, Dallas and Tampa Bay. Of course, I lost that in both those games, but then both games end up staying under. But I do like the first period under. Once again, I'm going to go back to the well with the Islanders and Washington Capitals. I really, really, I was not impressed with what I saw from the Washington Capitals in their seeding games. And I will say that I do take that seriously, because as much as we have some younger guys on this Washington team, let's be honest, this is actually a veteran-built team. When you got guys like Ilya Kovalchuk on a team like this, I think that Ovechkin's got more gray hair than my grandma. It's one of those things that you can really look at. And
Andrew, your grandma's probably 32.
She's 87. But
oh wow.
But it's one of those things, right? And I look at Alex Ovechkin, and Buster talks about the power play, and I believe the power play is the only place on the that Ovechkin's going to score. I'm actually holding a ticket right now, -130, Ovechkin not to score a goal tonight.
Well, there you go.
That's a pretty good price.
And you're so good at those.
Score. And I also, because people were asking me to get back to doing these, I have Brock Nelson plus 245 to score, and Anthony Beauvillier plus 270 anytime goal scorer on the game.
Benson, I saw your question. I can't answer. Bear with us, my friend. Lots of stuff coming. Love all these people in here. Megan, Stephanie, Soldier Field, Doggy Young Wonders. We have a guy who just plopped in, said he was new to the show. I can't find your chat because we're so active, but love having you as well. Just the stuff is so great. Everybody talking and chatting. I know all the names. It's freaking awesome. Arizona, the only team with experience playing in an empty stadium. They take on Colorado, minus 180 for Colorado, over and under 5.5. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm betting Colorado in regulation. Colorado, I think, is the team that's going to win the Stanley Cup. With that said, I mean, I have no skin in this game. If Arizona can go on a run, good for them. This is a hard luck franchise. So, with that said, I got to win my bet. So, Colorado in regulation, that's where I'm going. Carmine?
Yeah, no, I have to agree with that. I'm actually going to stay off the side in this first game, and it's one of those things where Arizona gets you to play their type of game, and if they can, they're going to keep it low scoring, which is going to lead me to playing the under here. Can they steal one from Colorado? I believe they can. Whether it's one of the first few games or when it's a meaningless one in game 4, I don't know. But I literally want to see this first game, how it plays out. I'm leaning to the under 5.5 here. Unders have been looked good in this series so far. And again, it's one of those things where Arizona got Nashville, as bad as Nashville played. They got Nashville to play their type of game, took advantage of all the Nashville mistakes, as well as goaltending, and they got through that qualifier series. So I'm going to wait to see. Yeah. Colorado's got a great team. There's especially that first line
stacked.
Let's just see let's just see if Vancouver can shut them down. If they can, I'd love to see that Andrew special, the first period under, and have this game stay under 5.5. And if they don't, Colorado can still win 4-1, and this game stays under the total. I'm skipping the side, going with the under.
Karma, I wish it was the Andrew special because it only hit every single game but like 2 in the whole first round. So I wish.
Andrew, what you're doing is right. So I always say the results sometimes aren't there, but if long term, it's the right thing to do. Just keep doing it, man.
Buster Sports, Don Buster, living in St. Catharines, Ontario. Give out your exact home address, please.
123 Fake Street.
Yeah, exactly. My address is the Gulf of Mexico, Malecon, Progreso, Mexico.
Okay, great. What do you like in this game?
There you go. Carmen is saying about how Colorado is just really good. Well, you know what? Them and Nashville happen to be the two teams I actually had future bets on. So
your credibility is not so great.
I've already released Colorado in regulation myself, Prez, and I just again, you'll see the same thing that'll happen, but the difference will be is that Colorado won't give the puck away like Nashville did. Colorado, Francouz will play what he has to do. Colorado will outshoot them like Nashville did. Nashville outplayed them and outshot them every game. But you know what? Arizona's got they got a way to win games. There's no doubt about it. They're kind of like Columbus,
they got a great goalie too. I mean, and
Kemper, but
when he's on, he can steal games.
When he's on, yes, agreed. When he's on, he's very good. He's going to have to be on, and he's going to have to be on for the whole series. I couldn't lay the 180, obviously, but you got, I think, minus 105, 110 with Colorado in regulation, and that's where I'm going to go here. And I see Colorado winning this in 5.
Yeah, I said that on our preview show on Monday, Colorado in 5. Matt Carpenter, thank you, man. I love you guys trying to get us likes. Same with you, John Howard. It's greatly appreciated, and it's important, too. So you guys understand, I mean, the YouTube algorithms are based on comments and interaction and likes. And we want to dominate this YouTube space we're in. So, you don't need to be giving us donations like we got yesterday. Likes, and likes. We so greatly appreciate it. And Jared Schrader, nice to see you, my brother. Thanks for the kind words. Kryptonian Teacher, interesting name, that's for sure. 06K Kelly, 06 Kelly likes my enthusiasm. So does my woman. Appreciate that. Thank you kindly. Carm, before we get into the next game, where are you watching the games tonight?
Yeah, it's boys. Prez has some really nice digs as far as this absolutely fantastic pool that has like a lazy river in it.
It does. It has a lazy river.
And not only that, he's got a jacuzzi, and he's got the controls where he can keep it nice and warm. And there's like 8 of us that get together, 8 or 9 of us. We all bring a food item, or we chip in and get some food, and then we play poker. And he's got an outdoor TV there, and we could put the game on and we play poker. And it's just a fantastic night. I'll be Ubering there, and actually Mark is going to come and pick me up, Lawrence, because he's opening up a special bottle of scotch tonight. So I'll be watching the game, drinking some scotch.
I don't understand what opening a bottle of scotch tonight and picking you up. I don't understand where they link, but I'm glad you're getting the lift.
Here's the link is I won't be driving.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
He can walk
well,
home.
you know me, dude. Like, I never drink alcohol.
No, you don't. I think I've only ever seen you drunk a couple times. My bachelor party, you did quite a few shots of vodka with Brian.
Yeah, to get slightly buzzed.
Yeah, and I can't remember the other time. I think it was your birthday.
I don't know, dude. It does happen once every couple of years.
I know we're off topic here, but the birthday that Prez, his 50th, that him and Vivian planned at this bar/restaurant was one of the most epic things I've seen. Like, they even had this fire drum guy that Lawrence played the drums in fire or something like that. I can't remember it, but just an absolutely awesome time.
I just caught myself posing again.
Well, I would love to see Prez take some shots if he ever comes to any parties that I'm at, or maybe even
because Prez gets invited to parties where there's 22-year-olds. Yeah, very often. I had one in my backyard last night, actually. Just the 22-year-old was my kid, and she was 19, and I wasn't invited.
Carmine, is this the place where you always told me, like, you go out with all your buddies and play poker because it's easy money, it gets you to Vegas every year, stuff like that? Is that right?
That's the one.
I've won money in every poker game this year.
Sounds like a sausage fest to me.
You gotta love it is. You gotta love when Richie Rich writes, pool watching NHL. Prez got it rocking. Yeah, Richie Rich, I do got it rocking, but I do not run a whole bunch of oil companies. Prez living like an oil king. I love you guys. Nice to see you, Jen. Okay, Montreal, Philadelphia. I see 2 people wearing red and white. Philly minus 150, under 5.5.
You didn't ask him about Calgary, Arizona.
Who didn't I ask about Arizona?
Andrew.
I
don't really care.
I do.
I'm kidding. Andrew, I forgot. My apologies. I got sidetracked.
It's all good. No problem. I like Colorado to win the series. I actually have a parlay with Vegas minus 1.5 in their series, and Colorado minus 1.5 in this series. I just think this team, Colorado, is a huge step up in class versus Nashville. Buster made a great point saying that Colorado isn't going to turn things the puck over like Nashville did. But I think it's also important to mention that Arizona, I want to go back and watch the games that they played this matchup together, and Arizona played them tight, but playoff hockey is different than regular season hockey. And I think that the biggest line, I talked about this, I believe, on the preview show, but the biggest line of focus for the Colorado Avalanche is not going to be the Landeskog line. It's not going to be the McKinnon line. I believe it's going to be that third line with Burakovsky, Comfer, and Donskoy. That'll be the mismatched line of the night. No one else is going to be able to guard those guys and mark up with them. They're going to have all their top guys worrying about McKinnon, worrying about Landeskog and Rantanen and all those guys. And I believe the third line is going to be the line that really steals the game. For me, for that reason, I have a player prop for anytime goal scorer on Andre Burakovsky at plus 285. I love that price. I was surprised with it. And I also, to Prez's point, Darcy Kemper is an outstanding goalie. The problem is that this Colorado team doesn't just score, fancy, beautiful top shelf goals. They can score goals around the net. That's how they scored against them earlier in the season, dirty goals. For that reason, Prez, you might like this one. I'm on the Colorado Avalanche over 33 shots tonight. I think Kemper gets peppered.
And Andrew, to that point, I'm just going to say real quick, I have no illusions of grandeur that Arizona is going to knock off Colorado in this series. But if you look at some of their games, this is what they've done. And that, because you mentioned the shots, they've kept them to that 32, 33 mark shots on goal. And in the playoffs, where it's a little bit tighter, if they can keep Colorado, the Avalanche, to about that 30 shot range, that's where a good goalie like Kemper, and if you keep those shots to the outside and nothing up the middle, none of those slot shots, it strengthens that under for me anyways. So I don't think this game is a blow up by any means, but this is why they play the games.
I think if you look at it though, this Arizona team they scored 4 goals in one game, 4 goals in the blowout game when they won 4-1. And they allowed 4. There was at least one team on either side in the Nashville series that scored 4 goals. And if that happens, I believe we get an over 5.5 here in this series between Colorado and Arizona.
Okay, boys. Guys want to know what your thoughts are in the Philadelphia-Montreal game. Elliot V hates the Habs jerseys. Elliot V, I couldn't agree more. Okay, Philadelphia versus the most ironically named team in the history of sports. Minus 150 for Philly, over and under 5.5. I like Philly in regulation. This game, next game, the game after, and the game after that. I'm done now for the next week. Buster, wearing the white Habs shirt with a Habs flag behind you, or some.
It's actually a blanket.
A Habs blanket behind you. I have a Habs towel, Buster.
You already told me about that Habs towel, Prez, and I've heard the story, and we can move on.
Why? Because I use it to wipe my ass?
For my balls. No, you said you rubbed your balls in a sauna with some old guy one day or something like that.
I take it to glory holes with me. Okay. Buster, what do you like in this game?
Just quoting you.
This show has been a funny way to start the day off. I'll say that.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Sure is.
Of course, I want the Habs to win. I don't bet Montreal or against or with them in the playoffs. I've said this many a times already on this show. But what I will say, Montreal has to do the things that they did with Pittsburgh, and they might have a little shot. They have to stay out of the penalty box. They have to play tough, and Price has to stand on his head. Here's the problem. Out of the 2 teams I really, really like to maybe win the Stanley Cup, Philadelphia is the other one. Philadelphia, they can play tough. Philadelphia has the goaltending. And you know what? It's a real tough matchup for Montreal here. For them to win the series, they're obviously going to have to get lucky. But hey, they beat Pittsburgh. Why can't they beat Philadelphia? They've played them tough all year. They lost. They beat them easy at home. I think they lost 2 games in overtime. And they're looking good. And they're like I keep saying about that bubble. You don't know what's going on there, but Philly's looking really good too. So it's a bad matchup for Montreal. I'm not touching anything here. I'm going and just hoping Montreal can win this series somehow, some way. But
there you go. So you're not touching the game tonight at all?
No, not at all. I don't. Yeah, I'm like you, Prez. You don't bet your Leafs too often or not, right? So
I bet on the Leafs. I've never bet against them ever, but I do bet on them. But it's not like I don't look to bet on them because they're the Leafs. I'm just literally looking for the best bets available. Andrew McGinnis in the red Montreal Canadian jersey. Where are you going in this one?
There's no denying that the under is a look here in this game. You look at the Philadelphia Flyers, every single game they played in during the seeding round went under. All but one game between these 2 teams during the regular season went under the total. And if you look at what made Montreal successful and what brought them to this point, it was obviously great goaltending from Carey Price, but anyone that thinks it wasn't great coaching and great defense, you're not watching the game, because every single forward went back and helped. Younger guys were playing big minutes and helping to play good D. And of course, right across the ice from Carey Price at the other end is actually someone that idolized him, Carter Hart, a goaltender that's been outstanding. I believe he'll live up to the moment, and he'll play some big hockey. And you look at the defensemen from Philadelphia; they got some big guys. So I think that between the two of these teams, it's going to be a lot of time behind the net, a lot of time playing physical, aggressive hockey, and that type of stuff eats up time. And I also know both teams, but I know with the Montreal Canadiens, quite the opposite of some teams right now. They've actually, it seems to be told by their coaches, if you can't get the puck out, if you can't get possession, go ahead and ice the puck. They're not willing to cause turnovers, and I believe just dumping it or doing the they're calling it alley-oop or something like that, getting the puck really high in the air and trying to avoid the icing. That's happening a lot. So I believe the under 5.5 is the play here.
Yeah.
Especially out the gate.
I like it.
And honestly, if you do like Montreal, and which I actually do lean to them, this is the spot for it. In the first game where they've got some momentum, they're feeling good about themselves, and they do have playoff experience, real playoff experience. However, I'll say one thing, and I cashed 2 tickets and I posted them on Twitter, and I never do that stuff. I just wanted to prove to people that I actually was putting my money where my mouth was. Bet the Habs in regulation, because they are not going to win in overtime. And you can get, as the game progresses.
Offhand, I'm pretty sure they won in overtime already this playoff, but I could be wrong. I'm just a Leaf fan.
No, against Philadelphia. This is a new matchup.
This time.
Out of my opinion, yeah, I believe that Philadelphia would take them. So I'm looking at this one here, and I think that, well, first of all, Prez, just from a value perspective, just a betting value perspective, if I can get the Montreal Canadiens plus 240 live to win this game without an overtime, I think that has to be a bet.
Okay, there you go. Andrew McGinnis joining us, Carmine Bianco. Before we get to you, just want to shout out to Sabino. Thanks for stopping on quick and saying hi, and great work. I love our Puck Time family. 270 people watching on YouTube, plus all the guys on Periscope, Twitter, and Facebook. I want to see that YouTube number over 300 soon. Carmine, where are you going in this game?
I agree with pretty much most of the points that Andrew says in looking at the under, and I'm likely playing the under here. I still think Philadelphia wins and wins it in regulation, but I do like the under here. Montreal in that Pittsburgh series really collapsed well in front of the net, didn't give Pittsburgh any second chances in front, which makes it easier for on a goalie like Price. And they make you literally look at when a team is playing well defensively, like Montreal did in that series. You start to wonder, why does Pittsburgh look so bad offensively? Well, maybe it's not that they look bad offensively. It's Montreal did such a great job defensively. So sometimes you have to give that team the accolades there. And with that said, 5.5 here. I think this is one of those games where Philly wins in regulation time. It's one of those 3-1 games with that empty netter. So I think they're the better team here. I think Montreal knows it, but they're going to try and do what they did to the Penguins and stifle them in their own zone. But at some point, Philly will crack through. If Philly's the better team, say what you want to say up and down that lineup. They're a better team. They win this series.
I'm with you on that. Last game, Vancouver against St. Louis. Some money coming in on Vancouver. St. Louis was minus 150. Now they're minus 145. Not a substantial amount. Over and under 5, which I totally understand. A number I don't bet under very often, but I get it. I don't know what to do here. I mean, I'm rooting for Vancouver, but St. Louis just such a disciplined playoff-built team, especially, they're the champs right now. I think St. Louis is the play here, and I would probably lean in taking them in regulation. And frankly, I don't have any issue with a Colorado-Philadelphia-St. Louis parlay, all in regulation, so you'll get some nice odds there. Carm, I'll go to you first.
I had Vancouver in the last round as a 5% series winner, and they got the job done against Minnesota. It's one of those ones where, listen, they were the faster team, I thought, in that series. Minnesota had more veterans on that team, but I just thought that speed would win in that series. And they just had such a quick transition game. And once they got it rolling, they won. I don't think they can do the same thing against this St. Louis team. I'm actually surprised that this line is where it is right now, minus 145. In all honesty, it should be a little closer to where that Colorado Avalanche Arizona game is. I would think St. Louis is about 180. Say what you want to say, whether they looked good or not in the placement games, but again, I'm throwing those out. The Blues can lock it down. They've got a very good goalie. Markstrom didn't look good in the Vancouver series, as Dave Koken mentioned. Blues win this series, and Blues win tonight.
There you go, Carmine Bianco. Ulysses, I love that you agree with my parlay. Some other comment I wanted. Oh, Christian Stout. When does the Leaf game start? Respect, dude. That was a good line. I can take it. It starts around the same time as the Buffalo Sabres' next game. Andrew, what do you like in this game?
I like the over 5 in this one, seeing as this one went down from 5.5 to 5 here. Obviously, you're paying the price for it. And, if your book isn't offering the 5.5 or the 5, you should probably shop around because it looks like most books have moved towards the 5. Look, St. Louis is great. Obviously, defending Stanley Cup champions, and they're great. They're great for a reason. They had a goaltender carry them pretty far, and they had some timely goals scored. But I think that Vancouver is going to be sneaky, and they're going to get a few goals. But I think their defense is ultimately going to be what screws them over. It won't be their goal production. It'll be their really, really, really good time. Quality time, like 5 minutes to go, 10 minutes to go in the third period. Where I would take St. Louis's defenseman over Vancouver's. But I think 5 between these two teams, when you've got guys like Tarasenko, Ryan O'Reilly, Brock Besser, to me, it's kind of a head scratcher, and I think it's a lot of credit going to Binnington and the Blues defense. But this is one that I can't pass up here. I like the over 5 here.
He's Andrew McGinnis. Buster, what's up with you, dude?
I'm with Carmine with St. Louis. I'm actually going to take St. Louis in regulation here. I took Minnesota in the series, so I was wrong on that. I just not really. Vancouver's a good young hockey team. They're going to be good in the future. They make too many mistakes. They count on Markstrom way too much. The way they score a lot of their goals, that power play is excellent. So for Andrews over there, if Vancouver's power play gets going today, they might get some goals. I see this game almost like the first game of that Minnesota-Vancouver game. I can see St. Louis, just tighten them down with the defense, playing really good St. Louis Blues hockey. Like Andrew said, Tarasenko's back now. He's fully back. Here's a team that they were number 1, right? I know if you throw out the regulation, these playing games or whatever you want to call them, St. Louis and their defending Stanley Cup champs, and to tell you the truth, I didn't realize it went down to minus 140 for that St. Louis bet. I saw like 165 or something, so that's why I took them in regulation. But you might even want to take St. Louis minus 140 because they're winning this game tonight. And I say they might win it. They could win it 5-2 or they could win it 3-0. So, but I'm with St. Louis. I bet them, gave them in regulation, and that's who I like.
Hallelujah, Buster. Hallelujah.
Okay, then. We're done. Stop.
It's 1-1 with 2 minutes.
Yeah,
left.
1-1. Stoppage time. When is it, Carm?
Stoppage time tomorrow, 1 o'clock. We're going to cover the 3 Champions League games on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. 3 big games. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock, we're going to cover those, and then talk about the Europa League semifinals. And there's a couple big games coming up. They're jamming this tournament, both tournaments, into the next 10 to next 11 days. Both tournaments will be over. They're jamming them all in, playing 3 days apart, these teams, to get this tournament over and done with. So tune in. It's going to be a good one.
Andrew, who's on first pitch today?
I believe it's Marco and mid-major Matt.
Nice. And Buster, what are you eating for lunch?
I don't know yet, because what I've been doing since this pandemic hit, I've been doing the intermittent fasting.
I do it every single day. I fast between meals.
So we eat from 2 to 10 o'clock, and I've lost 22 pounds. I eat what I want from 2 to 10, but I don't eat anything else after that, although I do drink a little.
Okay, well, congratulations.
I want the honest truth. Since you started quarantine, 14, 15 days, whatever, how many MGDs did you drink?
Truthfully, only about maybe 48.
A day.
Only.
No, not a day.
That's 48 more beers than I've ever drank in my life. Later, everybody, check us out tomorrow. We're replacing Buster with Koken. Same with Friday, and then Buster will be back with us Monday of next week. Love all of you guys. Thank you, everybody. Elliot V gained 22 pounds. Smarten up, Elliot. You're young. Don't be playing from the defensive position for the rest of your life. Be well, everybody. Check out First Pitch at 2, NBA show at 3, and enjoy the hockey games.